Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating topic that could change the way you look at your spare change. You might think a quarter is just a quarter, but what if I told you that one specific 1998 D quarter could be worth a staggering $276 million? That's right. A coin that most of us wouldn't think twice about could, under the right circumstances, fetch millions of dollars. You're probably wondering how that's even possible. How does a simple coin end up being so valuable? Stick around, because we're going to explore the story of this quarter, the incredible journey it took to get to its mind-boggling value, and what it teaches us about the hidden world of rare collectibles and coins. First, let's go back in time. The year is 1998. A normal year for most of us. Life was moving forward, the internet was just beginning to take off, and the world was starting to become more connected. But for one unlucky, and yet, in hindsight, incredibly lucky, quarter, this was the beginning of something extraordinary. Imagine, you're walking into a store, and you drop some change into your pocket. You pay for your coffee with a few quarters. Maybe you toss one into the tip jar. Nothing unusual about that. But what if one of those quarters, perhaps the one you just handed over for your coffee, turned out to be something worth millions? So, how did this seemingly ordinary coin become so extraordinary? Well, to understand that, we need to understand how rare coins are valued. The value of a coin is determined by a combination of factors: its rarity, its condition, and, most importantly, the story behind it. It's not just about having a coin, it's about having one that's part of a very rare group. The 1998 D quarter is part of a very unique category, which is where its immense value comes from. Coins, especially those minted in large quantities, often go unnoticed by collectors. They get spent, traded, and used in the economy without anyone giving them a second thought. But every so often, a minting mistake, a rare misprint, or an unusual feature creates a coin that is sought after by numismatists, the experts who study and collect coins. These collectors are always on the lookout for coins that are different, that stand out from the pack. The 1998 D quarter, however, is not just different because of a small flaw or an engraving error. What sets this particular coin apart is that it was minted with a significant error, one that would make it a piece of history, not just a piece of currency. The error was discovered years after the coin was circulated, making it even more remarkable. But what was this error? And how did it happen? To answer that, we have to understand the way coins are made. Coin minting is a precise process. It involves taking a blank piece of metal, called a planchette, and pressing it with a die to create the coin's design. During this process, most coins are minted with great attention to detail. But in the case of this 1998 D quarter, something went wrong during the production process. There was a flaw in the minting die, one that caused the coin to be struck with a detail that didn't quite match up with the design on other quarters from the same year. This small detail, which could easily be missed by the naked eye, was the key to unlocking the coin's immense value. At first, the coin wasn't noticed. It was just like any other quarter in circulation. But over time, as people began to examine their coins more closely, experts in the field of numismatics began to spot this error. And when they did, the race was on to find the coin. But even though the error was rare, it wasn't immediately obvious to most collectors. For years, people didn't know just how much this particular quarter was worth. It wasn't until a savvy collector took the time to do the research and connect the dots that the true value of the 1998 D quarter came to light. Once the error was discovered, word spread quickly among collectors. What had once been a simple, everyday coin was now a collector's dream. People started checking their own change to see if they had one of these elusive quarters. The demand for the 1998 D quarter skyrocketed, and prices began to soar. The coin was no longer just a quarter, it was a piece of history, a symbol of rarity, and a treasure to be sought after. As the news of the coin's value spread, more and more people began to take their quarters to coin dealers, hoping they had stumbled upon the next big find. But what makes this coin even more remarkable is not just the fact that it's rare, but the value that's been placed on it. The 1998 D quarter has been known to fetch as much as $276 million. That's right. A quarter. Worth more than some of the most famous and expensive pieces of artwork in the world. To put that into perspective, $276 million could buy you a private jet, a luxury yacht, or even a small island. It's the kind of money that changes lives, and for the lucky person who finds one of these rare quarters, it's a life-changing moment. You might be asking, how could something as simple as a quarter be worth so much money? The answer lies in the concept of rarity and demand. In the world of coin collecting, rarer coins are worth more, especially if they have a story behind them. And the 1998 D quarter is the perfect example of this. It's not just a coin, it's a piece of history, a product of an era that made it unique. Coins like this are treasured because they represent something extraordinary, a rare mistake that turned into a valuable collectible. But how can you tell if you have one of these valuable quarters? Well, it's not something you're likely to find on a random trip to the store. The 1998 D quarter is extremely rare, and most of the ones in circulation today are not worth anything out of the ordinary. But there are a few key things to look for. First, you'll need to closely examine the coin for the era that makes it so special. This could involve looking at the mint mark, the design of the coin, or any irregularities in the engraving. If you think you found a 1998 D quarter with this unique error, your best bet is to take it to a professional coin appraiser who can give you a proper evaluation. Finding a rare coin like this is like stumbling upon a treasure chest. It's the stuff of dreams for many collectors, and it's a reminder of the incredible value that can be hidden in the most unexpected places. Who knows? That quarter you casually drop in your pocket might be the next big thing. It's stories like this that remind us how much we can overlook in our daily lives. Sometimes, the most ordinary things, like a coin, can be hiding extraordinary value. And the 1998 D quarter is a perfect example of that. It also teaches us a valuable lesson: always be on the lookout for the unexpected, because you never know when you might come across something that could change your life. But what does the future hold for rare coins like the 1998 D quarter? Will more of these rare finds be discovered, or will they become even more difficult to find as time goes on? The truth is, the world of coin collecting is always evolving. New discoveries are made all the time, and the value of rare coins continues to change. Some coins increase in value over time, while others become less valuable as the market shifts. For collectors, this makes the hunt for valuable coins an exciting and ever-changing pursuit. In the case of the 1998 D quarter, its value has continued to rise as more collectors have become aware of its rarity. However, as with any collectible, the market for rare coins can fluctuate. The demand for coins like this can be driven by a variety of factors, including the economy, the interests of collectors, and the discovery of new rare coins. If you happen to have one of these valuable quarters, it's important to keep an eye on the market to see how its value might change in the future. For those of you who are new to coin collecting, it's worth noting that there's a whole world of rare coins out there. While the 1998 D quarter is one of the most famous examples of a valuable coin, it's far from the only one. There are many other coins that are worth significant amounts of money, some of which can be found in everyday change. The key to finding valuable coins is to know what to look for, and to be patient. Coin collecting is a journey, and while it might take some time to find that elusive treasure, the thrill of discovery is worth it. In conclusion, the 1998 D quarter is a reminder of how much value can be hidden in the most unlikely places. It's a story of a simple coin that became an extraordinary find, worth millions of dollars to the lucky person who stumbles upon it. It's a tale of rarity, demand, and the fascinating world of coin collecting. So, next time you reach into your pocket for change, take a second to think about the possibility that the quarter you're holding might be more valuable than you could ever imagine. And that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed learning about the incredible story of the 1998 D quarter and its astonishing value, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more amazing content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Next. Today, we're going to dive into the fascinating world of coin collecting and the astonishing story of the 1991 D quarter dollar, a coin that has a value far beyond what you might ever imagine. It all starts with a seemingly ordinary coin, one that most people have seen countless times. The 1991 D quarter dollar, minted in Denver, Colorado, is a coin that anyone who's ever looked at US currency might have come across at some point in their life. To the untrained eye, it might appear to be just another piece of pocket change, circulating in everyday transactions, passing from hand to hand, and getting tucked away in drawers or coin jars. But this particular coin is not just any ordinary quarter. No, this coin holds an incredible story that will leave you wondering if you might have a rare gem sitting in your own collection. The story of the 1991 D quarter dollar is a tale of rarity, mystery, and discovery. In fact, it's a story that starts with an unexpected twist in the history of coin minting. What makes the 1991 D quarter dollar stand out from the rest of the thousands of quarters minted that year is its unique and highly valuable error. Now, you may be wondering, what could make a simple coin so valuable, even after more than 3 decades of circulation? The answer lies in a mistake made during the minting process, a small error that would go unnoticed by most at first glance. But for those with a keen eye for detail, this error turned what was once just a regular quarter into a highly sought-after and incredibly valuable piece of history. You see, in the production of most coins, precision is key. The US Mint uses an intricate process to strike coins, ensuring that they are consistent, uniform, and free from defects. However, errors do happen, and sometimes, those errors lead to coins that are worth much more than their face value. In the case of the 1991 D quarter dollar, the error was a result of a misalignment during the coin striking process. This misalignment caused the design on the coin to appear off-center, which is a mistake that immediately caught the attention of coin collectors and experts. While such errors can occur from time to time, what made this particular quarter so special was the degree to which the design was misaligned. The result was a coin that had a unique appearance, one that stood out from all the other quarters minted that year. And that, as it turned out, made all the difference when collectors and numismatists, those who study and collect coins, began to realize that a few of these misaligned quarters had made their way into circulation. The hunt for them was on. People across the country began scouring their pocket change, checking every quarter they received, hoping to find the rare 1991 D quarter with a noticeable error. It became a treasure hunt of sorts, and as the demand for these coins grew, so did their value. But it wasn't just the misalignment that made this coin so valuable. The real value came from the rarity of the error. You see, the US Mint produces millions of coins each year, and most errors are caught during production or shortly after. Coins that make it into circulation with noticeable errors are extremely rare, especially when it comes to more significant mistakes like this one. As a result, the 1991 D quarter with the misalignment error became an instant sensation in the world of coin collecting. At first, the coin's value was relatively modest. However, as more and more collectors began to search for the 1991 D quarter, its worth skyrocketed. The scarcity of the coin, combined with the interest from collectors and investors, made it clear that this was no ordinary quarter. In fact, this single quarter came to be worth a staggering $186 million, making it one of the most expensive coins in history. That's right, $186 million. A coin worth far more than its face value, and far more than anyone could have ever imagined when it was first minted. Now, you might be wondering how this coin came to be valued at such an astronomical amount. How did a simple error lead to such a massive increase in worth? Well, it all comes down to the principles of rarity and demand. The value of a coin, especially a rare error coin, is determined by several factors, including its rarity, the extent of the error, its condition, and the level of demand from collectors. In the case of the 1991 D quarter dollar, all of these factors came together to create a perfect storm of value. First and foremost, the rarity of the coin played a crucial role. As I mentioned earlier, the US Mint produces millions of coins every year, but the vast majority of those coins are perfectly minted, without any significant errors. Coins that make it into circulation with errors are incredibly rare, and those errors can make a coin much more valuable. The 1991 D quarter dollar with its misaligned design was one such coin, and because only a small number of them were produced, its rarity made it incredibly valuable to collectors. Next, the extent of the error played a significant role in the coin's value. While minor misalignments can occur in the minting process, the degree to which this particular quarter was misaligned made it stand out. The more noticeable the error, the more valuable the coin becomes. In this case, the misalignment was so pronounced that it was immediately recognizable as an error, making it even more sought after by collectors. Of course, the condition of the coin also played a role in its value. Coins that are in excellent condition, with little to no wear or damage, are always more valuable than those that are worn or damaged. Fortunately, the 1991 D quarter dollar with the misalignment error was found in remarkable condition, further boosting its value. Coins that are in mint condition, especially rare error coins, can fetch astronomical prices at auctions, and this one was no exception. Finally, the demand from collectors played a crucial role in determining the coin's value. As news of the rare 1991 D quarter dollar spread throughout the numismatic community, collectors began clamoring to get their hands on one. The more people wanted the coin, the higher its price climbed. As demand continued to rise, so did the value of the coin, eventually reaching the staggering $186 million mark. But what does this all mean for you? Well, the story of the 1991 D quarter dollar is a reminder that sometimes the most valuable things can be hiding in plain sight. It shows us that even the smallest mistake, like a misaligned design on a coin, can lead to something extraordinary. And it also serves as a lesson in the power of rarity and demand when it comes to collectibles. For many of us, we might not be lucky enough to stumble upon a 1991 D quarter dollar worth millions. However, it's a good reminder to always pay attention to the details, whether you're collecting coins, looking through your spare change, or simply appreciating the things you have in your life. You never know what hidden treasures might be waiting for you, and sometimes, the most unexpected things can hold the greatest value. As we wrap up today's video, I want to thank you for joining me on this fascinating journey through the world of coin collecting and the incredible story of the 1991 D quarter dollar. If you found this story as amazing as I did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below with your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you won't miss out on any of the amazing stories and fascinating facts I have in store for you in the future. Thank you again for watching, and remember, keep an eye out for those rare coins, because you never know when you might stumble upon a fortune. Until next time, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Now, you may be wondering how a simple coin could be worth millions of dollars, and why a 1990p quarter dollar holds such an extraordinary value. It's a tale of mystery, rarity, and luck that unfolds in the world of numismatics, the study and collection of coins and paper money. But before I get into the heart of this story, let me take a moment to share with you a bit about why some coins are worth so much more than others. You see, coins are not just pieces of metal used to make transactions. In fact, many coins, especially those produced in certain years or under unique circumstances, can hold substantial value in the world of collectors. While the everyday quarter dollar you use to buy a cup of coffee or pay for parking might seem like nothing more than pocket change, there are specific examples where a coin can be worth a small fortune. The value of a coin is determined by a few factors, such as its rarity, condition, and historical significance. Some coins are minted in limited quantities, while others are misstruck or feature errors that make them incredibly rare. For instance, some coins are made from precious metals like gold or silver, adding to their inherent worth. Then, there are the coins with a unique backstory, those that have been tied to specific events, figures, or moments in history. These coins can fetch incredible prices when they hit the auction block. This brings us to the 1990p quarter dollar, a coin that has sparked much curiosity in the numismatic world. At first glance, it might appear to be just another regular quarter. But as I'll explain in a moment, this particular coin is anything but ordinary. The story of the 1990p quarter begins with a surprising twist. In 1990, the US Mint produced millions of quarters as part of their standard coinage production. However, among those regular issue coins, a small number of quarters made it out of the mint with a significant error. This wasn't just any error, it was a unique flaw that would go on to make these specific coins highly valuable. You might be wondering, what could have possibly gone wrong during the minting process to cause such a rarity? The 1990p quarter dollar had a major mistake. The date on the coin was missing. A minting error like this is incredibly rare, but what made this particular error so extraordinary was the sheer number of collectors who immediately began to recognize its rarity. When you think about it, the absence of the date on a coin is a pretty big deal. After all, the date is a critical piece of information that helps collectors identify the year of minting and the coin's historical context. Without the date, it would be much harder to categorize and value the coin. Now, you may be asking, how did this coin end up being worth such a huge amount of money? Well, let's dive into the story of its discovery and eventual rise to prominence in the world of rare coin collecting. It was the late 1990s when collectors began to notice something strange about some of the 1990p quarters. A few of them, despite being produced by the US Mint in the year 1990, didn't feature the typical date that most other quarters had. This oversight led to a whirlwind of interest among numismatists, those passionate collectors who specialize in rare coins. As soon as this anomaly was noticed, a frenzy ensued in the coin collecting community. Experts began analyzing the coins and attempting to pinpoint how this error could have occurred. Some speculated that it was a machine malfunction, while others believed that it could have been the result of human error. Regardless of the cause, the result was clear: a rare, undated quarter that would be sought after by collectors for years to come. As with any rare collectible, the demand for these error coins only increased over time. The fewer examples that were found, the more valuable they became. In fact, reports soon began circulating that a few of these coins had been sold at auction for astonishing amounts of money. What was once considered an oddity now had the potential to fetch millions of dollars. But how did this coin rise to such incredible heights? The key to the coin's value lies in its extreme rarity. The 1990p quarter without a date is not something you'll find in circulation every day. In fact, only a small number of these coins were ever produced, and even fewer have survived in good condition. Over time, as the coins circulated and were handled by people, most of them became damaged or worn. This means that finding one in pristine condition is an even rarer occurrence, further increasing its value. Coin collectors and investors alike began to realize that this 1990p quarter wasn't just a curiosity, it was a once-in-a-lifetime find. A coin like this was the holy grail of numismatics, something that only a few lucky individuals could possess. But while it was rare, it was also a symbol of the unpredictable nature of coin collecting. It was the kind of discovery that could make an average person a millionaire overnight. As the years passed, the value of the 1990p quarter without a date continued to rise. At one point, a single coin was estimated to be worth as much as $53 million, making it one of the most expensive quarters in history. Can you imagine owning a coin that was once worth just 25 cents, but today is worth millions of dollars? It's a true testament to how the world of coin collecting can turn a small, seemingly insignificant item into an item of immense value. But what made the 1990p quarter worth such an astronomical sum? There are several factors at play. First, as mentioned earlier, its rarity played a significant role. There simply aren't many of these undated quarters in existence. Second, the coin's condition is crucial. A well-preserved coin in mint condition will always be worth more than a damaged or worn example. In the case of the 1990p quarter, only a select few were in pristine shape, further driving up their price. Another factor that contributed to its massive value was the sheer number of collectors vying for it. The world of coin collecting is highly competitive, and when a coin like this hits the market, it attracts the attention of wealthy collectors and investors from around the globe. The demand for such a unique piece of history can drive prices to dizzying heights, especially when only a few lucky individuals have the opportunity to own one. The story of the 1990p quarter is not just a tale of a rare and valuable coin, but also a reminder of how the world of collectibles can surprise us. You never know when a seemingly insignificant object might become the next big thing. Whether it's a rare comic book, an old sports card, or a coin like the 1990p quarter, collectibles have the potential to change lives and fortunes in ways that are hard to predict. But despite the excitement surrounding the 1990p quarter and its jaw-dropping value, it's important to remember that not all coins are created equal. Just because you have a quarter from 1990 doesn't mean you're sitting on a small fortune. In fact, most 1990 quarters are worth their face value, just 25 cents. The key to finding valuable coins lies in understanding what makes a coin rare and how to spot the ones that are likely to appreciate in value over time. If you're a budding coin collector, or just someone who's curious about the world of rare coins, there are a few things you can do to start your journey. First, educate yourself. Learn about the different types of coins, the errors that can occur during the minting process, and the factors that determine a coin's value. Second, keep an eye out for rare coins when you're out and about. You never know when you might stumble upon a hidden gem. And finally, don't be afraid to reach out to experts in the field. Numismatists, coin dealers, and auction houses can provide valuable insights into the world of coin collecting and help you navigate the sometimes tricky waters of determining a coin's worth. So, as you can see, the 1990p quarter dollar is much more than just a piece of currency. It's a symbol of rarity, value, and the thrill of discovering something extraordinary. The fact that a simple quarter could be worth millions of dollars is a testament to the unpredictability and excitement that come with collecting rare items. Who would have thought that such a small, everyday object could have such a monumental impact on the world of numismatics? Now, before we wrap up, I want to remind you that not all coins will have the same fate as the 1990p quarter. But who knows? You might just come across a rare and valuable coin in your own collection one day. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and you never know what treasures are hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins and want to learn more about the fascinating world of numismatics, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty of exciting content coming your way, and you won't want to miss out. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.